There is one ancient Yoruba saying which goes, Kojuma ribi ese loogun e. But this saying has long been updated to Kojuma ribi gbogbo ara loogun e. And that can loosely be translated to mean prevention is better than cure. In these pictures you are seeing is the governor of Lagos State doing his best to protect his own self. He is obeying the ancient wisdom that instructs that Kojuma ribi gbogbo ara loogun e. See him here, down with COVID-19, yet he fights. Look at him, resiliently receiving vaccination in isolation. This book is titled Sanwo-Olu Against All Odds. It is a photo story of resilience in the face of adversity by the man Ademola Olaniran, and it was given to me by no other but the same man, Ademola Olaniran. But then, why this book? I call this book Ìwé Àwòrán. Àwòrán in Yoruba is a word that means picture, but it is the shortened form of a longer expression which is àwòrántí. Àwòrántí, that which we look at and then remember. And àwòrán is a visual reminder, that which reminds us. Reminds us of what? I will answer that question when I begin the book review proper. But since there is no vision without the visionary, to know this work, one must study the worker. A painting cannot exist without the painter. So, let us study the hand before judging the canvas. Let us meet the author, Ademola Olaniran, the brain behind this book. Olaniran is his ancestral name. It historically means nobility has certain lineages to which it pertains. That is, ọlá kìí ṣe fún ìran kíran, ọlá ní ìran, èyí tó túmọ̀ sí wípé ó lójú ìran tí ọlá tọ́ sí. Ọlá kìí ṣe fún tajá tẹran. Nobility has a lineage. But in creative quarters, that name, Olaniran, has been given a culturally deeper interpretation. Ademola Olaniran has ingeniously been shortened to Ademola Niran, which says Ademola ni Iran, and that means Ademola possesses vision. His eyes sees things invisible to ordinary eyes. His lens captures images unavailable to the lens of mere mortals. Therefore, we say Ademola has vision. Ademola ni Iran. And this vision has led to this book in front of me, a major work in the genre of photojournalism. Look at this very historically important picture of our prestigious Eyo. This is one of the many magics captured through the privileged lens of Olaniran, which is one of the many proofs of the veracity of his name, Ademola, the possessor of vision. Indeed, the photographer of photographers. Now to the book. The book is called Against All Odds, which agrees with the ancient Yoruba axiom that instructs that Àdó ìṣí lòògùn ọrọ̀, ká dúró ṣinṣin, ká má ṣí, ìyẹn gangan ní ìpìlẹ̀ ọrọ̀ níní. To stand firm, steadfast and immovable, to keep moving even when sailing against the winds, to be resilient in the face of adversity. This is the secret of success. A leader must therefore possess these qualities of Àdó ìṣí, which is the Ogun of Oro. And that is why in the titling of this book, what precedes the phrase against all odds is the name Sanwo-Olu, because Sanwo-Olu is that leader who has mastered the necessary art of Àdó ìṣí, resilience in the face of adversity. I don't need to know this man personally to be certain of his luminary excellence. All I have to be is an observant and fair Nigerian. But if that isn't enough, I am a Yoruba man, so I can go to the wisdom of my ancestors and draw more inspiration about this man from the unique name that he bears, Sanwo-Olu, the child whose arrival led to the cancellation of a former debt. Ọmọ tó wá láti Sanwo-Olu, ó dé láti tán gbèsè tí Olú jẹ sílẹ̀ kó tó dé. The Olu of this family was indebted before the arrival of this child, but now, somehow, this child's arrival has led to the cancellation of that debt. Wow! Indeed, orúkọ ọmọ ní Romo. Because if Lagos State was a land of gbèsè, it is obvious to all who care to see that this man Sanwo-Olu is the one who was sent to pay that debt to a level where we can actually heave a sigh of relief. So again, why this book? Because it is an archive. This is not a casual coffee table book. It is heavy and intentionally so. Some books are written to be read, others are written to be witnessed. This book visually documents the tenure and public works of Babajide Sanwo-Olu, Governor of Lagos. It is not a collection of random ceremonial pictures. This is governance translated into imagery. This is policy made visible. You can call this book a compilation of evidences. This is how a government tells its story through light and shadow. This is how a government preserves public memory. And that is the whole point of photojournalism. Each photo communicating context, emotion, and information. Governance is temporary, but documentation is permanent. And since leadership is stewardship, isn't documentation a huge part of that responsibility? So, why this book? Because Lagos is the commercial center of the most populous black nation in the entire world. And the governing of such a space is no mean task. The Yoruba say that yini yini kẹ́ni ó lè ṣe mí. Wọ́n ní tẹ́gùn ẹni bá jóore, orí a sì yá atọ́kùn. This book is a gesture of appreciation for the sacrifices of a servant leader. But more than that, this book is how we show those who come after Sanwo-Olu that the standards have been raised and the stakes have been made even higher. In the words of Ademola Olaniran, the author of this book, I have worked with Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu as his official photographer for 5 years, and in that period, I've been privileged to watch him weather unusual storms with dignity and quiet resilience. Babajide Sanwo-Olu has governed Lagos through some of the most turbulent periods in Nigeria's recent history. He assumed office in a time that would test any leader, whether economically, socially, and even emotionally. The End SARS protest, for example, happened nationally, but Lagos was undeniably the epicenter. Lagos was the main stage of the events. The tension, the grief, the uncertainty. This was a heavy, defining period. And at the center of that storm stood the governor of Lagos. It takes being beyond a mere man to be a leader, a true leader during an unrest. Then again, the world was shaken by COVID-19. And again, Lagos, Africa's most populated megacity, stood at the front line of this crisis. Ademola Olaniran in this book doesn't just present achievements, he situates achievements within adversity. Ademola Olaniran is arguing that progress can be made during chaos. Achievements can come even while having contradictions in our experiences. Ado ishi loogun oro. Even when the stakes are unusually high, the work can still be done, and successfully so. As I have earlier said, this book is an àwòrán, a celebration of Iran. Iran is a vision, a spectacle, and àwòrán is the trigger of Ìrántí. What is Ìrántí? Ìrántí is the Iran that stays, the lingering vision, the spectacle that remains in the subconscious. Ìrántí is the vision that never leaves. This particular book ranks very high amongst the type that shall be reference points in the future. Not like the ones that some politicians have written for the dark purpose of editing history. On the contrary, this one captures history in a way that doesn't only feel true but also alive. This is Àwòrántí, the Iran that triggers memories. From the hands of Ademola Olaniran, Ademola, the possessor of vision.
Babajide Olúṣọlá Sanwó-Olú, gómìnà tí a nípínlẹ̀ Èkó. Ògidì ọmọ wọn lókè Pòpó, ọmọ olówó gbowó nísàlẹ̀ Èkó. Ẹ̀yin lọmọ afínjú eégún tá à ń pè lẹ́yọ̀, ọmọ arọ́ dẹ́dẹ́ kó má mà dá, ọmọ ìsàlẹ̀ Èkó àkété, ọmọ ìlú ọgbọ́n, ọmọ arómisá lẹ́gbẹ́lẹ́gbẹ́. Mi bẹ́yìn lọmọ alágbálúgbú bàbá omi, ọmọ àpàtà bútú bàbá odòkodò.
Wàá ṣeré.